This Krabusi about to make me act up.
Well, at least we saved Ezra.
At least.
I'm so glad that Thrawn wasted our time again.
This was not good. If someone says this was good, they're lying. I'm going to tell them they're lying.
They're lying to themselves.
They're lying to themselves.
Because you can believe what you want to believe, but you are wrong. What they do in this episode is it's what they've been doing all season is set up. But that doesn't work when you never get payoff. Like, setup works because you get payoff. But if all you do is set things up, you end up with nothing.
Yeah.
And then it's edging. They've just been edging us this whole time, but not good. It's pretty dry.
Yeah.
It's rubbing.
It's not going to make the payoff in the Filoniverse movie any better.
In 2026.
It's not... By having this whole whatever series of build-up, it's not going to make the movie's payoff better, or whatever, season 2's payoff better.
This episode feels like it's setting up for the finale. So, like, if I had to rate this episode as far as, like, moving things along, it does a lot more than other episodes, but not to a season 2 point. So, like, you're going to need to rewatch this whole season or episode before season 2, because this one doesn't culminate in anything. You don't end up with anything final. It's basically, this feels like the penultimate episode. Like, this is right before the finale, when you're like, oh my god, what are our heroes going to do? They're trapped. They're at their lowest point.
Yeah.
How do we bring them back?
Can I pitch you something crazy?
No.
So, this obviously should have been the second to last episode of the season.
Of course.
So, it should have ended where Ezra and Sabine did the jump. That cuts where she's just fighting by herself. And then the next scene is the one with Ezra landing by himself on Hera's ship. So, we're like,
so
that way we're like,
where is everyone?
What happened? But that's, I think, how they should have wrapped up this season or something.
You're right. If they at least gave us a cliffhanger like that, because the reason this doesn't feel like a cliffhanger is because it does just set us back 3 episodes to where... Well, actually, no, it sets us back to the beginning of the season, where Sabine and Ahsoka are in a different galaxy to Ezra. So it's just like, they've just completely swapped spots, and it's like, wow, I'm so glad. And the most painful line at the end of this episode... At least we saved Ezra.
Yeah.
And it's like, bruh, you brought the doom of the entire galaxy. I'd say a net loss as far as...
Probably net loss.
As far as things you want in your home galaxy.
Yeah. If anything, they should have done the noble thing of sacrificing themselves so that Thrawn didn't get back. The galaxy would be in a better spot.
Yeah. And Ezra would still just be hanging out. Ezra wasn't in pain or like...
He's actually having fun. He was happy.
He was fine. He was just like, oh, a bit homesick.
He had that eye patch.
He's like, oh, I'm a bit homesick. But other than that, like, my little lobster friends are pretty cool. They're a little crabby, but... This bit's cringe and is going to make Star Wars fans come because they're like, oh, he has the same lightsaber emitter as Kanan Jarrus. And it's really weird in this scene, right? So... Kanan Jarrus is a made-up name that he made up so that the Empire couldn't find him because they were looking for...
Oh, so that's not his real name?
No, his real name is Caleb Dune. But so he went by Kanan Jarrus, and that's revealed in in Rebels. But...
Is it like an Obi-Wan, Ben Kenobi kind of thing?
Yeah, pretty much. And so Hu Yang at some point just says, ah, yeah. Like, while talking about Kanan, just says, and then Caleb. Yeah. And, like... No one...
I got a bit confused there for a second.
If you have subtitles on and you've never seen anything...
You're like, did they just change names?
You're like, who the fuck is Caleb?
Oh, Ben.
Like, that's not even an Easter egg. That's just confusing. Yeah, so she's got good at swinging her lightsaber.
She's gotten really good at a lot of stuff in the last who knows when.
The really shitty thing about this... So, while Ezra is putting together his lightsaber, Hu Yang mentions that when Ahsoka was teaching Sabine... Ahsoka got worried that Sabine might use her new Jedi powers for evil because she had a really fucked up past. Like, her whole race was wiped out by the Empire, and she doesn't know the Mandalorian lives, even though Ahsoka does. Ahsoka should probably tell her that a lot of Mandos survived and that you can live on Mandalore again. But anyway, so that's why Ahsoka stopped teaching Sabine. But this information, even alluded to, would have been incredible weeks ago, but it also doesn't line up with the fact that Ahsoka thought she might be evil.
Yeah.
You can't do both. You can do, oh, my new apprentice is, like, she's got a messed up past.
Yeah.
And my master, who had a messed up past, turned evil. And all of his teachings, I'm teaching to this person that might react the same way, because they didn't have a great upbringing like me.
Yeah.
But, like, you can't do, oh, I might be evil because my master was evil. Oh, also, my apprentice might be evil because my master was evil. You can't have both. It just muddies it.
Yeah, but there's...
And this is stupid, because Ezra has to come out and see the TIE fighters, even though about 3 minutes ago we started hearing...
Also, Huyang doesn't have fucking sensors in the
ship doesn't, no. And also, the only reason they're in danger is because they're floating above the caravan of crabs. Like, it's stupid, and they're only doing that because I wager the beginning of this writing session went, oh, I want Ahsoka and Thingo to have to hold up the ship while it's getting repaired. That'd be super cool. Dang, why would they be so close to the ground? I know, crab people. And then, like, they just kept snowballing from there. So basically, the whole thing started from a dumb idea that is kind of cool, like having to hold up a ship while it gets repairs.
Yep.
But the reasoning for all of it was, like, not even first draft. It's just, like, the first thing that popped into their head.
Yep.
And it's stupid, because they're not protecting the crabs. The crabs are built to hide.
Yeah.
And they've been hiding from the Empire with Ezra for years.
It wasn't until Ahsoka and Sabine came that they're like suddenly like war-torn people.
Yeah, you know how you give away a caravan of sneaky people? You hover a giant
your
fucking
Jedi ship
over it. And also, the fucking stupid thing...
I was going to mention this.
Okay, the witches?
Yeah. What's his name? Enoch. Is it Enoch? No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Enoch is like, we've detected the Jedi Starfighter. And it's like, the witches tracked her through a goddamn minefield and space whale cemetery. Like, there's no
Use
reason.
the magic laser ball triangulation magic again.
Literal triangulation.
Thrawn is supposed to be, and this is another big point in this episode specifically, but also the last 3 that he's been in, he's supposed to be the genius.
Name one plan that has succeeded.
He gets Scooby-Dooed in this episode, essentially. Like, you done, kids? Like, what the... This guy's supposed to be... Like, when Daniel was telling me about this guy, when the season, like, got announced and stuff, he's a genius. He's a 10th level intellect.
Steven referred to him as Tywin Lannister in space. Which is exactly what he should be.
Yeah.
Like, that is the best description I've heard of Thrawn. Assuming you've seen Game of Thrones, of course. If you haven't, makes no fucking sense.
Yes.
But if you've seen Game of Thrones, you're like, yes, Tywin Lannister, what a fucking baller, until he dies on the toilet.
Yeah.
But Elon Musk over here dying on the toilet every fucking episode.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck? This guy gets no W's.
No bitches. No like, Jedi.
I don't understand. It's like he really is just like, oh, like he almost gets like dumbfounded at one point.
The situation dumbfounds him, but because of the direction and character and the way Lars is playing him, he doesn't get dumbfounded. He just says, yes, as I planned. Like in a super calm voice, as if he's expecting everything.
Yeah.
A calm, controlling voice does not negate the fact that everything he's done has gone wrong.
Yeah.
He put mines in space to kill Ahsoka. Failed. He shot laser beams from his spaceship at Ahsoka. Failed. He sent fighters after Ahsoka. Failed. He sent 2 battalions after everyone. Failed. He then sends 2 TIE fighters to take down their ship, and then those 2 TIE fighters get immediately blown up.
Dude, they get driven into by another thing.
Like, yeah, the Starfighter just goes straight through them, and it's like, no worries, like, that did literally nothing. And, like, it doesn't damage Ahsoka's ship more. Like, yes, TIE fighters are flimsy, but you can't just fly into them.
Yeah.
Like, and 2 of them?
And they also, they have...
After being shot?
They have
and then
space fuel in them. Talking about the anatomy, not the anatomy.
Whoa.
Talk to me about the science of lightsabers. When I was a kid growing up, lightsabers are the scariest thing in the world. It's like, you're always thinking like, what if... Because there's a scene in this where Sabine gets back into the ship and she has her lightsaber on and she runs into the ship. And I'm like, turn that off if you're running into a doorway, especially if Ahsoka is right in front of you, you know? Well, that's a hazard. And rolling around and stuff like that.
When you're playing with lightsabers as a kid, you get hit in the arm, your arm goes behind your back. You get hit in the other arm, it goes behind your back. You don't do that when you get hit by a baseball bat in fucking these Disney Star Wars.
We've seen. It's like, do you remember how easily Luke's hand comes off in episode 5?
Whoopsie! Star Wars used to be about losing limbs.
Losing limbs and getting stabbed straight through your body.
Anakin lost it. Qui-Gon gets a hole in the stomach and dies. Darth Maul gets cut in half. And now it's just like, you've got to hit him 3 times. Obi-Wan was worse. There's like a scene where he like hacks at a stormtrooper 3 times and then he just falls down. It's like, what the fuck? The
same enemies that her and Ezra fight, the one like the big zombie tough guys who are like blaster and lightsaber through.
Yeah.
But then she turns on her lightsaber next to him and it just goes straight through his head.
Yep.
And I'm like, Why is his head any different than his body that you couldn't get through?
To preface the scene, no, this is important. So their ship is blown up after the TIE fighter incident we just mentioned. And then Ezra is like, I don't mean to dampen the light-hearted mood of this situation we're in where
What are we gonna do now?
where the galaxy's in danger, but I don't know, maybe this is gonna slow us down a little bit. And then Ahsoka just cheerily like, only if we let it.
And then she enters stage right on her little dog.
Yeah, they off screen found two
I know they had
dogs.
one. They had one. They had the one that Sabine
Yeah, they had,
waited on.
they had the pet one, yeah. They found another
They
dog.
found
yeah.
another one.
It had a baby.
Ezra called it.
Maybe.
Wampa wampa.
They go up on the mountain glide, and Ahsoka's like, any information on this ship? And Ezra's like, no, I have no idea. And it's like, what the fuck were you doing for 7 years?
Yeah.
You weren't even getting reconnaissance or
Hiding.
like keeping up to... Yeah, he was literally just hanging out with crab people. He was doing
Getting some
nothing.
crab wussy. Ezra's like,
Oh, yeah, he was a teenage boy when he went through that wormhole. Oh no. Oh no, no,
this crab
no.
wussy about to make me act up.
So then they ride their wolfies
Uh-huh.
straight towards the ship. And of course, the ship has sensors. Thrawn's not an idiot. He sees them coming. And he says, rain hellfire down upon them. And hellfire is easily avoidable lasers that just hit the ground.
They did an
Yeah.
okay job of like stepping left and right, which you wouldn't be able to call when they were going to hit you.
The Force.
The Force, sorry.
And
But
also,
then
lasers move really slowly.
the second half of the run, where they're using the Force, all three of them. Nice job,
All
by
three
the
of
way.
them. I like the... Sabine, help!
So I'm helping. It's like giving your little brother the controller that's not plugged
Player
in.
2 that's not plugged in. Love it.
But yeah, then as soon as they start doing that, because they have to focus on them doing that, they no longer step left and right. They're
Not
just
at all.
running straight forward.
It's stupid. So Mandalore was glassed because of a hellfire assault from above. You can destroy a planet. That is the fucked up thing about, like, that's why you can keep a whole planet in check with a Star Destroyer. You can level a city very easily. But these guys just move to the left.
Yeah.
And
And they
then-
were right above them.
And then once they get inside, we just like hard cut to them playing tennis with a bunch of stormtroopers that are bottlenecked in a hallway. Plo Koon couldn't take down 5 clone troopers that shot him
And
in the
he's
back.
a master.
He nailed back a couple. He did his best, but there was too many of them. One Jedi could never take on this many people. And suddenly, it's fine.
Every time they want to kill a Jedi, it's like, it's just, you put 3 guys shooting at them instead of 1, or like a little group.
Yeah,
you
you
see
can
it all the
overwhelm
time.
them.
Whenever you cut back to like Order 66 clips, it's always like, they were just like a few too many guns. But this was, they were outnumbered like 5 to 1, 6 to 1. There was a lot of people.
No, there was
in
like
that.
30.
There was a lot of
Yeah,
it.
there was like a room full of people.
And they're all just like,
And it was so casual. It wasn't like, oh, episode 1, Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan have to use the first and only use of Force running to escape 2 destroyer droids. Because that is too many bullets coming at you at
Yeah.
once. You have to leave when a destroyer droid starts firing at you. 50 stormtroopers? Doesn't matter. But what's cooler than 50 stormtroopers?
what?
50 zombie stormtroopers.
But how did you know they were zombies? Was it the green glowing eyes?
And they went... "Arr."
They
And
made the villager noise?
Occasionally,
Ah.
a couple of them had their masks broken, and they were literally going... "Arr, arr, arr."
like, what the
they're like
fuck?
trying to eat them, and it's like, bruh, you're not a real zombie.
Yeah.
You can be a demon warrior. Also, Marek, like these ones are crap versus Marek.
Yeah. I think these ones are more just reanimated corpses, but Marek was like a legitimate gas ghost that they like spent a lot of time conjuring. Can we
Like-
play the beautiful?
Like Ezra just got snuck up on by a zombie that came from another corridor somehow.
He was moaning and shuffling.
They
Ezra.
came from behind.
Quick, do the Star Wars thing. Slice the door. Slice the control panel.
Ezra can't free himself because he's a big dumb man and
Correct.
needs Sabine to save him.
He's deflecting bullets.
Look at him go. He does. He has his lightsaber.
He's like, oh,
He's holding it.
Help me. Use the Force.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure Starkiller had a dope move where he would go like,
Yeah,
like Super Saiyan, like a bunch of stormtroopers shooting at you, pfft, easy. A bunch of stormtroopers walking towards
slowly
you.
shuffling.
Oh, Ezra's line is like, "No, this is new to me," and it's like, the fuck is
Everything's
the point
new
of
to
Ezra?
you.
Yeah, he was literally just like having a holiday. He was probably mad when he saw Sabine. He's like, "Oh, she's gonna be weird about me and my girlfriend." It cuts to like a trailer park whore. She's got no teeth.
What did you think of Morgan Elsbeth getting the Darksaber?
Morgan Elsbeth is the only person with an arc in this episode, which is kind of crazy. Not an arc in this episode, an arc in this season.
Yeah, it's like she proved herself to the Night Sisters, which is like, I guess she followed this religion that doesn't really have a basis in her universe.
Yeah, they're all dead.
Yeah.
So like she was the last one and she got to meet some old Dathomirian sisters. But we didn't spend any fucking time with her, apart from her looking evil or like taking screen time off Balin.
I thought we would get the opposite, that she becomes a full-fledged like Night Mother. And then...
I mean, I kind of expected her to fight Ahsoka and die because...
Well, I thought it was going to be the other Night Mothers can't leave the planet, maybe, and then she can go, and then she can be like a more of like a powerhouse in the next season. But still, now Thrawn can be like, Night Mothers, I need your help
I'm still
again.
not sure why the Night Mothers are helping Thrawn.
We need to find out what's in those big sarcophagi.
I'm pretty sure Dooku, it's more dead people, I think. He's just going to have an army of dead people, which is kind of boring when like you fly in with your army of dead people on a ship, and then the Republic just shoots your ship down, and all of your dead people die in one ship, and you're like...
Thanks. He's essentially a big...
Because like they're not pilots, we just saw them shuffling along. So like, is what they're saying they kept all their dead? Why didn't they keep the dead on the ship? Who knows? But the reason Morgan Elsbeth goes and faces Ahsoka and dies is because she has her epic transformation, which takes way too long. It's like 5 minutes per episode.
Ages.
And then Thrawn is like, I know that we're about to leave and that we have everything on board and there's no reason for us not to just leave.
We could really just go.
But we need more time. So, can you go fuck around and find out?
They had to. Thrawn, they didn't start leaving until Thrawn left from the top of the spire pillar thing to get to the deck of the Eye of Sion, and then he said, yeah, let's boogie. Imagine they just walked into the deck where like all like the ships and stuff are, and he said, yeah, begin the launch sequence and take us into orbit now. That means by the time he walked to the deck of the Sion, they would have already been in space.
And they have the gold shuttles. They don't need to actually get onto the ship itself. Like, the ship could have been waiting up in orbit where Ezra wouldn't be able to jump to it. But we'll get to that. Oh, now they're versing the super zombies, which are harder.
Oh, can you play the clip of Sabine getting clotheslined? Just in the video somewhere.
Literally right there. It's again, Ezra gets snuck up from behind. People just have no observation. Look at this. Boom. Like,
where's the Force now?
He was there a minute ago. Why would he not be there a minute ago?
They've shown that Ezra is a proficient hand-to-hand Force combatant.
Yeah, he spent a whole episode only doing that.
He should have been able to just grab these guys and push them off the edge of the thing.
There is no reason why he couldn't have.
Or Sabine now, because they've shown that now she's a capable... Because he does Force jump and then half the way, and then she lifts him the rest of the way. She can lift a person.
Yeah.
She can lift a zombie stormtrooper.
In Rebels, from memory, it was more like you would get a boost, like when you both jump on the trampoline at the same time and when you get to launch higher. It'd be more that, so it's more of a smooth
But that isn't what
transition.
happened in this one.
No,
he was down arcing.
He was going to die.
And then she was like...
She threw an entire human being.
Yeah.
He has ample time to like bring his lightsaber back in. Instead, he chooses to punch the metal helmeted thing in the face.
Also, these stormtroopers could have shot at them.
Just choose not to shoot. And then when they see him jump and run towards them, they're still like, eh.
He's slowly being force levitated up. I know they'd probably miss because stormtroopers, but...
and then they slowly lean over the edge and like,
and she's like...
And the only reason they're there is so that he can take one of their outfits. And they try to brush over it when they're at the beginning of the episode. They're like, have you kept up your training? And she's like, why, yes. Yeah, where did Ezra get the spare kyber crystal? We're just saying Hu Yang just had that?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the drawers. Even though it's like a big thing that you go and get your kyber crystals on whatever that planet is.
There's a couple, but yeah.
I only remember the one from KOTOR 2.
Yeah, so that's a little thing called Star Wars A New Hope. And in said movie, Han Solo says, see you later, kid. And then he goes away, but then he comes back and he saves Luke Skywalker. So instead of doing that, Sabine just kind of looks like she's leaving for like a minute. And then she's back.
She's just right there.
But there's nowhere for her to have been hiding.
But also all the stormtroopers just like run away. Have a look at these guys taking pratfalls and waiting for their cues. Like that freaking idiot right there who just ran past her.
Oh, that one was especially bad. He does exactly what she did to the other guy when she got clotheslined, but instead he runs straight past her to get slashed in the back.
What do you think of the whole it's not subplot, but the descriptors that they use in this season and like the imagery and the wording and such, that Ahsoka is just a samurai, a wandering Ronin,
Well,
if
yeah.
you would.
Elon Musk literally calls her a Ronin at the end there. And they call people Boken Jedis, which is, again, Japanese word. They use Tsugi? Kitsugi? The gold inlay. So, like, when something's broken, there's an art form in Japan where you can fix it with gold. There's just so much Japanese stuff in this season that it's not really subtle or, like, done the way the original things did it, where it was like, a little bit leading into it and, like, took inspiration from. He's just taking words. He's just like, you are the last samurai. And she's like, oh, no.
I'm the last samurai.
I'm Tom Cruise. This bit stupid because even though the fight is now over, Elon Musk over here decides to bombard the platform and absolutely decimate the thing, which is a great idea if he did it 10 minutes ago when he had already left. But instead, Ahsoka has been fighting this whole
Look at her run
time.
to this doorway with her lightsaber on.
This woman is a menace. She's like a kid running with scissors.
No!
But yeah, look, it just vaporizes. It vaporizes the whole thing.
But I think this sets up a little plot line of the Night Mothers being sick of Thrawn's shit. They gave him like looks 2 or 3 times in this episode.
yeah.
They were like, huh?
But also, I don't know why they're working for him, so I don't really care or know.
But also,
why
you're
they're
running
not
away
working for
from
him.
this galaxy. So,
And then they
fuck
end up
off.
on Dathomir. But like, yeah. But instead, Thrawn counts this as a victory, even though Ezra snuck aboard his ship. But if you snuck aboard a ship of your enemy that's about to destroy the world, would you Bruce Willis them? Would you die hard?
yes.
Would you
yes.
die harder? Would you a
you-
good day to die hard?
The one where he says
Would
the
you
N-word
die hard
on the sign?
4.0? No. You just go back and say,
But that would be great with
Hey,
his
Harry.
guerrilla tactics background. Whoopsie. They didn't do that.
God, he could have been so cool if he was
Yeah.
literally just like a thorn in his side.
A thorn in my side. Oh, what a great title. Unlike this one, The Jedi, the Witch, and the Warlord.
Thanks. No one could guess who the warlord is.
It could be Thrawn. It could be
Well, that was your guess. I'm like, but
It
he's a
could
general.
be-
Why would you call him a warlord?
Shin Hori.
No, it couldn't be. That'd be stupid.
But like, what the fuck is the point of having a tribe of? There's like one village of.
But yeah, what
mountain
is she gonna
people.
do?
But then it's like,
Because-
is she gonna unite the mountain people?
Well, she's not a threat to Ahsoka. The mountain people aren't a threat to Ahsoka. Do we think together? No.
But who's the Jedi? Who's the Jedi here? Sabine.
Probably.
She really became a new hope in this episode.
Uh,
Yeah, I really thought they'd be like, they tore a hole. We can jump through still, as
Well,
long as
it-
we get into
it-
hyperspeed now.
It lingers for ages, and I thought maybe they'd take another leap of faith.
Yeah.
I definitely did not think they would just end up staying here. We did make jokes about it, I think, at one point, of like, oh, they'll just swap sides, like they'll be in the galaxy, and then Thrawn and Ezra back there, and then it's like, oh, we're back to episode 1. But no, that's what they do. They just reset the entire thing, but flip it,
Literally.
and it's kind of pointless, because, like, Thrawn could have just gotten back by himself. Like, we didn't need any of Sabine or Ahsoka's adventure for it to happen.
Yeah.
If Ahsoka never went on this quest, the outcome would be exactly the same. Morgan Elsbeth would have gotten to the other side of the galaxy,
Yep.
picked up Thrawn, come back. That's exactly what happened. So no one will have any idea of what this is unless they go on a YouTube channel to find a circle. But for anyone that watched the Clone Wars, that is the father, and they're the Mortis gods, and basically they are the gods of the Force, kind of. The reason we saw the owl a minute ago was because the daughter, which was the good side of the Force, lives on in Ahsoka, maybe, who fucking knows. And then the son is the evil side. So the only plot I can think of for this, right, is that Balin wants to destroy the Force by killing all the Force gods. I don't know why he thinks he can kill the Force gods, or what he thinks he's going to be able to do with a bunch of Force gods. Balin might want to destroy the Force, which would make sense to me, but then it doesn't really make sense why he wanted to help Thrawn, or why he got rid of his apprentice.
Yeah.
Like, a story about Balin going to kill the Force gods would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Except we know that it fails because the sequels exist and the Force never dies, and you can't do anything about that.
But wait. Go back to Balin real quick. Did he find what he was looking for? We don't know yet.
We don't know.
We don't know. Is he ever going to?
He,
I'm not sure.
he might be closer. There was a quest marker in the distance.
There was God rays on one point or something. Maybe.
And the statue was pointing at it too.
And there was maybe like volcanoes.
So it wasn't super hard to find if a giant statue's pointing at it and it's glowing.
Correct. And you have the Force.
And you have detective mode.
Correct. But how's he gonna get down from the hand? That's what I'm gonna say.
He has to walk all the way back.
He has to walk back.
Climbs
because
down.
he would have been able to see from the shoulder.
This 60-year-old man. Oh yeah, he did it for dramatic. He's like, this would be a really cool shot if I was in a movie. And he stands on the edge and goes. Turns out he was in a movie, so that's handy. And then in the least exciting way, Ezra walks out of this ship, and it's very obviously Ezra. Like you said earlier, if they had cliffhung us, maybe this would be exciting. But instead, we obviously know it's Ezra. No one else does. But it's not like a, oh my god. It's just like, he's going to say hey. But also, again, instead of dieharding, he's just left, and Thrawn didn't notice a full ship just fly out of the hangar.
Yeah, like they didn't.
Thousands of stormtroopers just let this one guy get in a ship and go, ah! That means he didn't say, hey, it's me, it's Ezra. Like, to give a code.
They showed him getting escorted in by 2 other ships and land.
But Hera was like, Ezra? Like, she wasn't sure it was Ezra even when he took the helmet off, even though he just looked like Ezra with a beard. But
the other doesn't exist, so it doesn't matter.
But that means he didn't say, hey, it's me, Ezra.
Yeah.
I'm back. It's a crazy story. I'll tell you when I get on board. Which means she would have been like, Ezra. But instead, she was like, Chopper, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Oh, it's Ezra? Oh my god. Fucking stupid. This whole season has zero sense of urgency. Like, everyone's on their own schedules. Nothing matters. We'll get to it when we get to it. Like, even the fact that Ezra just leaves.
Even when they do introduce like a time frame that things need to happen in, it happens over like 3 or 4 episodes. So it's like that time. It's like Dragon Ball Z can go for as long as the story writers need it to go for.
While editing, I notice it especially because, like, sure, while you're watching it, it's fine. But when I'm trying to find a clip and I have to scroll through half of an episode to get to what I thought was the beginning of the episode is insanity.
Yeah.
Like, this show is stretched beyond all belief. I'll put up the full runtime of it, but it should have been a 2-hour movie, and even then they'd be pushing it.
Yeah.
Even at a 2-hour movie, this doesn't deserve to exist. It has no value. Like I said, if Ahsoka never goes on her adventure, the outcome is exactly the same.
Yeah.
And why have a story there?
In fact, better off.
Oh my god, I literally came. Anakin, I came.
He's back! Don't oversaturate the market, goddammit.
It's 3 episodes. Come on. Too many.
Too many.